He paid $10 to hide an Apache woman wanted by the U.S. Army. Before we dive into the story, don't forget to like the video and tell us in the comments where you're watching from. The wind blew hard that morning across Dry Creek, carrying the smell of dust, whiskey, and gun oil. On the wall of the sheriff's office, a new poster flapped in the wind. Wanted, Apache fugitive alive, reward $200. The picture was rough, but the eyes were clear, fierce, dark, unyielding. The kind of eyes a man didn't forget. Inside the saloon, Eli Tanner counted $10 on the counter, his last bit of savings. He'd been a ranch hand, a drifter, a man running from his own past. $10 could buy him a week's food, or a bad decision. Then a stranger slid into the seat beside him. "You want to make some money, Tanner?" he asked. "There's an Apache woman hiding out by the canyon. The Army's offering $200 to anyone who turns her in." Eli's hand froze. He looked down at the money in his palm, then at the door, where the sheriff's men were already saddling up. Outside, the wind tore one of the posters loose. That night, Eli rode north under a blood-red sky. The canyon walls loomed like giant tombstones. Somewhere in the shadows, a campfire flickered. He saw her before she saw him. An Apache woman crouched by the flames, cleaning a knife, her hair long and loose. She looked up, eyes sharp as steel. "You here to collect?" she asked. Eli raised his hands. "I'm not here to turn you in." "Then why are you here?" He tossed her a sack of food and the $10 he had left. "To help you hide." She studied him, uncertain. "No white man helps an Apache for nothing." Eli hesitated. "Maybe I owe someone more than I can pay." She looked at the fire, then back at him. "My name is Naya," she said softly. He nodded. "Eli." That night they sat in silence. Two fugitives from different worlds, the fire between them the only thing keeping the dark at bay. At dawn, the thunder of hooves echoed through the canyon. Soldiers. Naya grabbed her bow. Eli grabbed his rifle. "Go," he whispered. "There's a cave up the ridge." "No," she said, her voice steady. "They'll kill you." "I've been half dead for years," he replied, smiling faintly. "Go." She hesitated, then ran. The soldiers stormed into the canyon, rifles raised. Eli stepped out from behind the rocks, hands high. "Easy, boys," he said. "Ain't no one here but me." The lieutenant eyed him. "You seen an Apache woman?" Eli's heart pounded. "Not since the raids last winter." The soldier spat in the dust. "If you're lying, we'll hang you with her." When they rode off, Eli slumped against a boulder, sweat dripping down his brow. In the cave above, Naya watched him from the shadows, her throat tight with something she didn't want to name. That night, she came down quietly, and 3 days later, smoke rose on the horizon. The Army had found the cave. Eli and Naya fled into the desert, chased by gunfire. The dry grass caught fire behind them, turning the night sky red. When they finally stopped near the river, Eli's arm was bleeding. Naya tore a strip from her dress and bound the wound. "You should have left me," she whispered. He shook his head. "You don't leave someone to die just because the world says you should." For the first time, she smiled. Small, sad, but real. "You talk like a fool." "Maybe," he said. "But I'm your fool now." By dawn, they reached the border where the land turned green again. The danger was far behind him, but not forgotten. Eli pulled the last coin from his pocket, the one he hadn't spent. "Guess this $10 bought me more than I expected," he said. Naya tilted her head. "What did it buy?" He smiled faintly. "A reason to live." She touched his hand. "Then spend it wisely." They built a small home near the river, hidden by trees and time. The Army never found them. Years later, travelers would pass through and speak of a white man and an Apache woman who lived quietly on the edge of the world. Two souls who had every reason to hate, but chose to love instead. He paid $10 to hide her, and found something the frontier could never take: peace. 5 years had passed. The river ran low that summer, its gentle murmur the only sound across the plains. Naya knelt at the water's edge, washing clothes, while her little boy, Luca, chased dragonflies along the bank. He had his father's blue eyes and his mother's quiet courage. Eli came riding home from town, his horse slow, a storm in his face. "They're back," he said. Naya froze. "Who?" "The Army. They're rebuilding Fort Holbrook. There's talk they're looking for Apaches who escaped after the raids." Naya's eyes darkened. They think we're ghosts. We made this home, Eli nodded. But ghosts still get hunted. That night, the three of them sat by the fire. Luca lay curled between them, asleep, clutching the silver feather necklace Naya had once given Eli. The flames flickered in her eyes as she whispered, "We can't run forever." Eli looked out at the stars. "No, but we can stand." The sound came before the light, the slow thunder of hooves, the metallic clatter of rifles. Eli woke first. "Get Luca," he said quietly. Naya grabbed their boy, still half asleep. Smoke rose from the east, soldiers again. The cabin door shook under a hard knock. "Open up! U.S. Army Patrol." Eli stepped outside, unarmed, hands raised. The lieutenant squinted. "You're Eli Tanner. Thought you died in the canyon." "Maybe I should have," Eli said evenly. The soldier smirked. "We've been looking for an Apache woman and her half-breed son. Orders are to bring them in." Naya appeared in the doorway, Luca clinging to her skirt. The lieutenant's eyes narrowed. "That's them!" Before he could raise his pistol, Eli moved fast. He slammed the man aside and shouted, "Run!" Gunfire split the air. Naya darted through the trees with Luca in her arms, the sound of bullets and shouting echoing behind her. Eli fell to one knee, returning fire until the rifle jammed. Then silence. The soldiers were gone, the smoke clearing. He dragged himself toward the river, bleeding but alive. Across the water he saw them, Naya holding Luca tight, tears glinting like glass in the morning light. He smiled weakly. "Told you we'd stand," he whispered.